I am number one, not number two. If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable. See the competition I've been running through. Leveled up, I only see him in my rear view. Switch. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Been ballin'. Switch. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Been ballin'. I'm winning, get buckets from the court side to the nosebleeds. Yeah, they love it. I'm winning, get buckets on the first in and the last out, see me coming. First take, I'm hotter than hot. Hotter than some boiling water, I bubble the pot. Team full of ballers, baby, we winning a lot. I'm like Curry with the rock when I get to my spot. I'm tapping in, I'm passionate. This is what passion is. This here, nah, this is no accident. From the start to the finish, I'm cashing in. I am number one, not number two. If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable.
Ooh.
See the competition I've been running
in.
through. Leveled up, I only see
Cowboys
them.
Nation. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, live for the 2024 Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft Super Show with your boy Skywalker Steele, Foots the King, Vach Lombardi. The first edition that we're doing this, man, and I'm just so excited and ready to go. But what's good, gentlemen?
Woo! Hey, man, we done put in some damn work, didn't we? We done put in some damn work, didn't we?
Man, listen, we got the energy drinks going. We got the adult juice going. We feeling good. We looking good. What Deion say? If you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. When you play good, what they do? Ow! They pay good, baby. Come on.
Man, Skywalker Steele, let me tell you something, man. We took this one a little more seriously than we normally do because on a regular occasion, I wouldn't dare watch a whole bunch of safeties. On a regular occasion, you wouldn't see me get past about 5 or 6 corners, especially when the Dallas Cowboys don't need them. But we wanted to give y'all the best information we could possibly give you, the best information that we could provide. Me and Foots the King wanted to give you the best fussing and arguments we could bring to this table here. And that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to have some fun, of course. We're going to have some fun, of course. There's a lot of places y'all could be. So we're going to reward you for being here and give you the best information out of all the rest of them. You feel me?
All I can say is, woo! Listen. I told Sky earlier we doing pre-draft stuff earlier, pre-sound stuff, and I said, Sky, I didn't think we would make it. Like, you get to a point in the process where you watching guys and you going back on your thoughts and I didn't man, we here.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else to talk about. We here. I'm feeling good. I know y'all feeling good. I'm ready to rock, man. I think that I'm ready for the unexpected. Let me just say that.
Yeah, pencils are down, books are closed. We're hearing a whole lot on Twitter right now, right? Like, that's what happens. The day of the draft, Foots hit me up about Keon Coleman sneaking in. We're hearing things about JPJ. We're hearing things about, hey, if Cowboys, speaking of Cowboys, they're wiped out defense, right? There's a specific name popping up. That's usually what happens on the day of the draft, a whole lot of craziness, and it's just getting started because I think we're going to see a lot of trades to start off this thing. And Dallas isn't going to be a part of one trading up, but they'll potentially be a part of one trading down. But I'm ready for the chaos, man. I really am.
Yeah, man, there's allegedly supposed to be a bunch of movement, but I just think that'll just benefit us. Just in case y'all didn't know, this is all 32 production. So if you're an Eagles fan in the chat, you ain't got to leave. If you're a Browns fan in the chat, you ain't got to leave. Broncos, whatever, whoever watching football, Wizards, you can hang around. Eagles fans normally here anyway. So we're going to break down everybody. And you know, if the Eagles want to make a trade and they trade up and get a fantastic player, we're not going to hate on you. I might hate next week. I may hate tomorrow, but we ain't gonna hate today. If y'all do something fantastic, then we'll shake your hand and say you did something fantastic. As long as my Cowboys do something better at the end. But it's supposed to be chaos though. It's supposed to be a lot of movement. It's supposed to be a lot of trading around. And if corners end up going, if quarterbacks end up going, if defensive players start to run a little more than we think, then hey, let's see even more guys fall down to 24, right?
I think that what you just said about the movement at the top, Vach. We get some of that movement at the top. We want it. You want chaos. Give me 5 teams to draft quarterbacks.
Give me 6 quarterbacks up there. That's what we want.
Give me those guys. How long we been saying that, Vach? Give me those guys, those teams. Is it Denver coming up? Are the Giants going to draft and pass on maybe a Malik Nabers who helps their offense? Do they just say, you know what? We fell in love with J.J. McCarthy's leadership and, all these buzzwords. So that's the chaos that Foots wants. What chaos do y'all want, chat box? I want chaos because if nothing else, I see N creeping down to Dallas, good DNs, right? I think that so that's gonna be where we start to have these conversations. Lie to.
Oh, come
Darius
on.
Robinson. Yeah. Some of these guys that you heard, Todd Archer, he puts the tweet out about Robinson. Then you see other guys that follow the team about Robinson. So DN, I feel like maybe some tea leaves there, fellas. What we feeling if we get wiped out of our O linemen?
I mean, so that's kind of what we're all hearing, right? If the Cowboys don't have Barton on the board, that's the person they really, really want. They're trying to get up out of there. And if they can't get up out of there, the word is they'll take a defensive player. I doubt it's a linebacker. I doubt it's a corner unless one of those top corners fall. And we're talking about defensive end potentially. If Latu's there, I mean, that's kind of crazy. But Robinson and Foots, you talked about him a few months ago. Vach, you've been breaking down film about Robinson. And yes, this is 100% an all 32 production, but let's not get it twisted. We're going to jump into the war room for the Dallas Cowboys today. And that's exactly what we're talking about right now is the thought process of the Cowboys. If they get wiped out at the end of the first round, which is round 24, and can't trade back, do you take a guy like Robinson, who, if you look at Foots's, I believe it's your top 10 defensive line here.
Yeah.
If you look at your stack, you've got Robinson, I think somewhere around what?
Let's look at it. So I have Darius Robinson. This is subjectively. I know Vosh may want to fight me. Vosh, did you do a DN stack or you didn't?
I have it pulled up right here. Will still didn't because I ain't really share with nobody, but it was on my Patreon. But I got Latu 1, Murphy 3, verse 4, Newton, verse 3, Newton 4, and I have Darius Robinson as my 5th defensive line. So that's edges, that's 3 techs, that's 1 techs. I have Robinson 5th. So
that's where you have the Foots for defensive ends.
Yeah, so and I'll say for me, yep. So for me, I'll be honest with you. I got Dallas Turner 1. This is my edge. This is my edge, guys. So Dallas Turner 1, Latu 2, Jared Verse 3, Chop 4, and Darius 5. So we're close to the same realm there. I know how you feel about Chop. We're not gonna argue today, Vosh. We're just gonna try to make sense of things.
Chop is 6 for me though.
I'm other thinking like this, Vach. I really am starting to read the tea leaves that if they do go edge, we're starting to get that answer on Micah. Y'all feel that way?
Sure. If you draft edge, play him at that one spot to where we probably couldn't trust Dorrance full time, we couldn't trust Sam full time. If you have a Latu, if the league is foolish enough to let Jared Verse get to you, or if it plays out like it's supposed to, Darius Robinson, all those guys can play DN for you. D-Law on the other side, and D-Law is an old man, so when it's time for him to go, that player will probably just fit right into that profile. Plus, let me ask you this though, sir. Yes. So we talked about quarterbacks earlier, right? I think J.J. McCarthy being in this top 10 conversation is some flat out nonsense. What position or player are we as Cowboy fans, right? This all 32 production, right? But what player as Dallas Cowboys, right, are we fist pumping? Oh, hell yeah, draft him now. So I know if Penix goes, if Bo Nix goes, I'm a laugh loudly, hysterically, right? But who else are we looking for to kind of go before us to push more players to us?
I'll give you a name, man, that's kind of been all over the board. I think that Brock Bowers is slated to go in that middle of the first, but I don't know. You know what I mean? We said the same thing about Michael Mayers last year.
What's the king? I'm not gonna say who we heard from, and I'm not gonna say who we heard from, and I'm not gonna say exactly who's looking, but there is word that a team loves Bowers so much that they'll move up to go get him.
And when he move up into the top 10.
Okay,
is the word.
If that happens, push some of these guys back. For me, because when you look at it, go ahead.
I feel like Bowers was always a top 15.
He was a top 15 guy, but I've seen him all over the board.
I'm looking for Bo Nix to go to Denver, right? And then, oh shit, now you got, the Raiders saying, man, we got to get our quarterback. Now, boom, Penix goes 13. So you're pushing some of these offensive linemen down, potentially pushing some of these defensive linemen down in case you do get wiped out with offensive line guys you want. So I need 6 quarterbacks in the top 15.
Okay, I got a name for you, Sky. How about Nate Wiggins, a corner hungry team? Let's say, Nia, that's what so let's say Quinyon, I can have Quinyon going 1. First, being the first corner off the board. I can see a team moving up to get Quinyon.
Sure.
Think his Senior Bowl was that good. Then team says, okay, we get nervous. We might lose out on Terrion.
Sure.
Then who's that other corner needy team that says Kool-Aid, Wiggins, we don't want. I think that's maybe a name that could push another good player back to you. I don't think he should be drafted before the Cowboys pick, but crazier things have happened.
Just putting 2 and 2 together, Sky, and let me just ask you about this because we've been talking to the same people there. Do you think that there's going to be so much urgency at tackle? Like we're constantly saying, hey man, Barton may not be there. Graham Barton possibly is not going to be there. Everybody loves Graham Barton. Do you think that it's so much urgency for tackle? Like, oh, I miss Latham, I got to go get Mims. Oh, I miss Mims, I got to go get Guyton. Oh, like if Guyton goes earlier than expected, if Morgan goes earlier than expected, Kingsley could be getting some pre-24th overall love to where, hey, y'all want damn tackle so much, Barton just kind of fall into us. Is that something you can see, Scott?
I think it was Brugler, maybe Daniel Jeremiah, or both of them. They came out and said the people that they spoke with trade up. They're talking about all 5 teams they spoke with, which is 10 teams if you look at both of them, are talking about trading up to get a tackle. So, it's crazy because when this process started, the tackle, we say, hey, man, it's deep. It's a deep tackle class. But I think what went by the wayside was it's deep because it's deep with top guys. Sure. So once the top guys go, when you start getting down to the Jordan Morgans of the worlds and the Tyler Guytons of the worlds, there is a bit of a drop off from me. Roger Rosengarten, I think, might be the last of that.
That was the name.
I'll take it, sure. And I feel great about it. Other than that, you're talking about we love Christian Jones, but it's like, all right, let's move him to left tackle and see what he can do over there, right? Because we got to see him get back over there. He hasn't done it in a few years, but it's deep. Because it's like 12 dudes you can take in the top 50. After that, there's a bit of a drop off. So yeah, if you start seeing a run on that, you got to start thinking about center. You got to start thinking about defensive end or getting up out of there.
Let me ask you this, Foots. So we love Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M. He's getting first round hype, but we like him as a player. If he gets drafted before us, are we throwing a pin because we mad, or are we going, cool, let people keep falling? Like there are some players, Foots, that if they fall, I'm like, sure, come to me. Byron Murphy is a name like that. Darius Robinson is a name like that, right? But let's just say Cooper DeJean goes. I like Cooper DeJean, but take him.
That's a name.
Nate Wiggins is cool. Nate Wiggins is cool, but please take him. Tyler Nubin. I don't know where other teams have safety, but man, teams suck at drafting for us. They may just take Tyler Nubin pre-24, and that can fall to us. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of opportunities for.
I just heard about AJ Brown news that just came across my desk too, Sky. Yeah,
I would you say not, Chuck? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to confirm that here, but it looks like AJ Brown got an extension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got an extension. Which
T leaves, my boy.
Yeah,
hey, man, that's the rules. They don't know the rules.
Yeah,
that's to the Eagles, boy. They hold
breaking news. So the Eagles are signing AJ Brown to a 3-year, $96 million extension, $84 million guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen.
I got thoughts on this, but I let me go. Let me go on this one.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we got a little time.
We got time. Do you know if Jalen Hurts will be the quarterback for the foreseeable future?
Hey, no problem.
I guess that's Philly's problem. I guess the point is, I like they basically brought the guys who they had in. Now I heard some talk that they were moving up to get a receiver. They still might. How he does things, he does his thing.
I'm hearing.
Well, what we're hearing for, I'm not going to say
wide receiver.
I'm not going to say who, but I heard that they do want to move. Right, Scott is especially signing.
Devontae Smith and AJ. They're not.
And AJ Brown. So I
think more think more corner and offensive tackle.
Corner, O tackle. Yeah, I mean, I'll sit on my thoughts with it.
Corner 100%, bro. They
need corner.
No, corner. They need corner. I'm just saying. I was talking about my thoughts as far as
because if it's Bradbury and Rick's boy, we gonna have a party. But so they need.
I think it'll be interesting with AJ Brown. They paid him. I think this was some hush money, a lot of hush money, but we'll see. Good for them.
Hush money.
Ain't no hush money. Ain't no hush money.
Hey,
it's some loud money. It's some loud money. Ain't no hush about this. But
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you mind if we kind of turn this into a Cowboy thing? Because we just saw Amon-Ra St. Brown earlier today or yesterday get the bag. We Devontae Smith a week or so ago got the bag. Now AJ Brown gets extended. We're talking about CD Lamb just sitting there, just chilling, man, watching this price just continue to go up. $84 million for AJ. I mean, we're probably getting guaranteed $84 million guaranteed. That's close to $100 million probably for I don't know what they're waiting for, man. I don't know. I know that Jerry said this is the way he loves to do business, but you could have signed CD Lamb, was it a year or two ago, to an early extension, and you would have been well. But I bet you he would have fell out the top 10 by next year.
Yeah, I don't think they would have did that early. I would have, but
I would have did it right after his third season.
Yeah. Yo, Fuzz, let me say this. If there's anybody in the chat that's good at photoshopping, somebody say we look like the Death Row poster. You know what I'm saying? With a Tupac Snoop Dream.
Somebody do that for us. Send it to us.
With the all black, we look like the Death Row. That'd be fire if somebody do that. But back to the draft though, man. We got 7 minutes to go. Relatively, and they're gonna bring some Detroit soccer team to come on there and
some
get an
Detroit
applause.
band.
Yeah, they're gonna sing a song, and Caleb Williams is gonna be the first overall.
Draft starts at 4.
Yeah at the 4th overall pick. So just for everybody that's watching, in case there's any kind of this is an all 32 production. Is there discrepancy at the 2nd overall pick? Is it Jaden Daniels? As Cowboy fans, how hard do we laugh if the rumors were true and JJ McCarthy is 2nd overall?
Ooh, ho! I got some breaking news before we go.
More breaking news, huh?
What's
this
Sky
is now and Sky, you got a button? We going live like Fox 5. Apparently, the Patriots are working to bring Brandon Ayuk in. Now, don't know how true that is, but
that's a terrible football decision for Brandon Ayuk, man. But
yeah, it's apparently the Patriots are. I'm tracking it now. They're working to bring Ayuk in.
How can you mean? What do you mean by in? They're trying to trade for him.
Trade for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, if I was
Ayuk, that one is kind of.
If I was Ayuk, I would not want to go there.
Is the 3rd overall pick involved somehow?
I would hope not.
That'd be crazy.
That's crazy if San Fran fleeces. But the Patriots, this is where now Voch, this, they need good players. This is why they haven't been locked in and now I wouldn't move the 3rd overall pick at all. But they need players. That's where I wouldn't want a quarterback to go because I feel like especially year 1, it's gonna be tough sledding.
Yeah, basically the Panthers all over again with Bryce Young. Yeah, if they're going to get a quarterback at 3 and then trade, say, 2nd round pick for Ayuk, now that makes sense because now your young quarterback can have a guy a la what Caleb Williams potentially could have. I saw some earlier. Could you imagine? Could you imagine, man, if the Bears somehow, some way, Caleb Williams number 1, and then they get Rome Odunze at 9, and we're talking about Keenan Allen, Moore, Odunze for him to throw to. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better situation from a weapon standpoint. Plus, they got Cole Kmet at tight end to step into. So the Bears are in prime position. They can either stay there at 9 or move back. But, man, if Odunze falls, my goodness.
If the Bears were really smart, I'm trading out of 9. I'm trading out of 9, and I'm just getting one of these.
It depends who's there.
Sky, I don't care who there. I don't care who there.
I don't like trading away from
Malik Nabers is there. You ain't trading out of Malik Nabers.
Well, here's my logic, right? What if a quarterback is on the board and the Vikings are trying to move up, and they give you a multiple year ransom to go get your pick to take the quarterback that they want.
Yeah, if you're getting a crazy King's ransom, sure. But
you know what I'm saying? Like if you can, okay, so you can get a first like next year and some picks like because you're the Bears, you're trying to rebuild the whole thing, right? And then you move back like what 4 or 5 spots or something like that, and you can get Brian Thomas Jr. if you want, or you can get an offensive lineman, do whatever you want to do.
So Rome Odunze or
Brian Thomas
and like a 2 and a 3.
And picks,
I don't know if you come up 5 spots if you're going to be able to swindle an extra first next year, but somebody's extra 2 or 3 or Rome or Malik if he falls down there. I do think who's there definitely matters, man, and the compensation you get 100%.
You know what I say all the time, Vach. I don't want to trade away from great players. I'll say this: why wouldn't the Bears want to draft a tackle? I've been hearing a lot of J.C. Latham to the Chargers.
I'm hearing he's going early for us.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that. So why not go, you know what I mean, Joe Walt, and just secure Caleb? I know receiver, and I'm team receiver, but that Bears O-line needs help. Definitely more help than Dallas.
Let's go take a look at what this, because I'm not sure. I know they just drafted one last year, your boy from Tennessee. So they kind of jumped.
You talking about
right.
What's the question?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The Bears offensive line. So
down there right.
Yeah, down there right.
So let me just take a look here. I mean, Braxton Jones is their left tackle. So yeah, you could definitely upgrade at left tackle for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they've been kind of like in talks with upgrading their sky. I mean, but I'm with you. It'd be hard not to draft Rome Odunze.
See, the reason why I said that though, Foots, is look at what the Cardinals have been doing. The past 2 years, they're constantly building picks and they're getting extra first round picks and they're trading those picks away. So this year, Foots, in the top 100, the Cardinals got 4, 27, 35, 66, 71, and 90. And look, plenty of that comes from losing games and just being trash. But you got pick 27 and pick 71 just from moving and shaking. They're still drafting their guys. They still got Paris Johnson last year, a top tackle in that class last year. But just because they were able to move around, they get extra picks now and more picks later. It wouldn't surprise me if I'm the Bears, who have 2 established wide receivers, or like 2 big dogs, really, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. They have those guys. It just wouldn't shock me if they got the right trade offer to move back, get some more picks, and still get a stud later because this wide receiver class is so filthy.
I think it's actually likely that's what happens. Because think about it. I'm just throwing out Rome Odunze and Malik Nabers. The odds of that happening, I don't know. I don't think that's really going to happen. So now you're just kind of sitting, maybe Olu, maybe Fuaga, and maybe they look at, hey, we'll trade out of that. We'll get a tackle later or something like that. But is there a player you don't trade out of unless it's a ridiculous ransom for you, Vach?
Oh, man, I love Fuaga so much. I love
he's probably going to be there.
Taliesin Fuaga so much. And look, we just talking about these top 10 or so picks. Fuaga, Joe Alt, I think they're all as advertised. Like they're all guys that you don't move away from. And especially, I think we're hearing so much about teams going up to get tackles because tackles so hard to get. It's so hard to find a tackle. Think about this. Every single year, right? We go into a draft and they go, all right, what do the tackles look like? It may be one of them. And that one tackle either goes first overall or like top 5 or something. Peter Skoronski, who wasn't good, in Vach's personal opinion, Peter Skoronski wasn't good, but he's a guy that can net you an 11th overall pick because tackle's so hard to get like that. We're finally in a class where I got faith in all these characters. I don't think if you're a team that needs tackle, all is on the board. Fashino is on the board. Sorry. Olu is on the board. Alisi is on the board. Troy is on the board. Man, you're not moving away from them people, man. Them dudes are studs, bro. You may move away if Graham Barton is on the board because he's a guard, he's a center. Yeah, you can find you a guard or a center, but like a tackle, I don't think anybody's moving away from these tackles when they're on the board. So they may go earlier than these receivers.
Hey guys, it's 7:00. You know what that means?
That goddamn button.
We are officially, when I say we, I mean the entire NFL draft world on
the clock.
The clock.
Can I just say this? Skywalker,
go ahead, baby.
Real fast, man. We have 1,600 people live before the draft even started, bro. Just before the draft even So we appreciate y'all for being here, and we know more of y'all gonna pour in. You know, the more this thing gets along. So appreciate y'all for being here. Salute, Swati Cott. Thanks for being here. Salute.
Hey, I'm definitely humbled at that number right now because
that's
it's going to go crazy because as the picks definitely when the Cowboys get on the clock or close to the clock. But I'm excited for this. We put in a ton of work and we haven't even started yet, man. But it's about to get real, baby.
Also, too, what's going to happen periodically through this draft, I'll just give myself the responsibility of doing this. If you're watching on YouTube TV or you illegally streaming it, I'm going to give y'all timestamps that we're at because me, Foots, and Will still are watching behind the scenes. So we're all synced up. We're going to react at the same time. But what we're going to do for you guys is sync y'all up with the clock. I'll just give y'all a countdown of 5, 4, 3, whatever countdown. But I'm gonna tell y'all narrow asses this. I'm not gonna be looking in the chat because y'all love to be like, the Cowboys pick what's the name and the damn Seahawks still on the board. You know what I'm saying? So when it's time for the get down, I'm not gonna be looking at the chat, but we will give you a periodic every 3 or 4 picks or so. I will give y'all a good countdown. All right. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Please don't ruin the picks for us, guys. I know y'all can't help it, but I'm not looking at the chat. So, and I'll say this. You guys hit on. So when we talk about O-line, I don't know if I feel that way about teams trading away from Graham Barton. I think actually, if we being honest, and I know, Vosh, you ready to talk O-line. You ready to just do a backflip for every one of them. But guess what?
You know me.
Barton is the one who I honestly think teams covet the most interior wise. Sure. So, and dare I say, even maybe over Troy Fats, where we may have Fats that way, but there were some rumors about the injury concern. So I think that Barton may be O-line 1 interior wise off the board. Maybe not tackle, but interior wise. And we'll see. You know what I mean? We don't know.
I think something that's going to be beneficial to us, though, Foots, is, like if Troy Fats is on the board and we go, they're going to take Fats. They may have Fats as a guard, so he may be ranked down on their board or something. Or Fawaga may be ranked as a guard on somebody's board. And guards typically fall a little bit more. So there's going to be fluctuation on the board because we don't know how these teams view these players. Some teams may look at J.C. Latham like left guard. We don't really know what the business is. Go ahead, Scott.
Now, you guys are talking about some guys that the Cowboys actually brought in the 30 visit. And I did want to say this publicly because, things have been dropping about one particular guy who was brought in for the 30 visit, and center Jackson Powers Johnson, who I think has, for 2023, the best center tape for 2023. But I will say this, things did not go great with that visit. And now we're seeing Jackson Powers Johnson as a guy speaking for Cowboys that this does not look like a first-round pick for them. I don't think it has anything to do with the tape. Just the visit wasn't a great visit, and I'll leave it at that. So it's really looking like Graham Barton, Troy Fats. If those guys are there, that's the pick. If not, they're trying to hightail the hell up out of there and get more picks.
I want to dig into this real quick because we got time before the Cowboys pick. We got time to kill.
A couple hours, yeah.
All 32 though.
Vach, all 32 for sure.
all 32.
I would say what's 32 minus 4? 28, because we kind of know these first, unless something crazy happens. Anyway, what's the importance of your center being put on the board, Vach? You played the O-line position at a high clip. You talk it. I'm sure you coach it. What's the importance? Because I think there's probably a faction of fans and watchers out there who, what's the problem? In my mind, I'm like, they want their centers to set the protection. Yep. I need a mic. Does he speak the language? Some of these colleges, I know this for a fact, going to coaches clinics, they give these guys so much information pre-snap, last with the chalk, that maybe he wasn't being coached in a way that he had to be independent thinking wise. But so what's the importance of, because I'll be honest with you, Sky's not wrong about the film.
Sure.
Like, as far as moving people, he's not wrong at all. But if he failed it, we at least have to give the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt and saying, well, if it wasn't right, maybe they're right there. Now, the flip side of that is you're supposed to be able to coach that up. But to you, Vach, what's the importance to me? I mean, that you think?
So we only have so much time on our shot clock. You know what I'm saying? So the quarterback has enough responsibilities. It is. So
That's a bar, my guy.
Hear what I said?
I did hear it. I heard what you said.
So the quarterback, and look, Dak will tell you, Tony Romo will tell you, they're responsible for dictating the coverage, getting us in the huddle, calling the plays, looking for checks, making sure we're in the right, you know what I mean? Okay, I put you in motion. Did you get set? Okay, I can't snap the ball till you get set. There's just a lot going on. But Dak is notorious for being able to make those calls. He didn't always have to make those calls. Travis used to make those calls. So what you would get that huge benefit from is, okay, Dak doesn't have to waste 15 seconds identifying what the hell is going on and telling Rico what to do because XYZ, XYZ. You really can't set up a solid pass pro until you know what the formation is. Why is this important, Foots? Because if you're running counter versus a 4-3, it's different than running a counter versus a 3-4. In a 4-3, I'm a center. I block down, to the 3 tech. If it's a 3-4, it's a nose in front of me. So I need to let my guard know, hey, there's no linebacker for you you need to get this cat in front of me so I can get that cat in front of him. So nothing can happen until you
got to do that in real time too.
Quickly. You have to know the play, identify, and then there's the idea that they can change late. You know what I'm saying? So what's so important about center is you have to be able to look through a team's nonsense. There's only a handful of formations you can really be. What I love about my audience here on my Patreon when we're watching film foots, I'll look at a funky formation and I'll talk to my audience. Hey, what do y'all see here? And we'll do it together. It may look like a 3-4, but hey, if you treat that 0 like he's a 1 and you treat that linebacker like he's an edge, it looks like a 3-4, but it's really a 4-3. Let's block it like a 4-3. Everything that I'm saying to you, Dak got to do that, plus process the coverage
in
plus
25 seconds.
You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So what's important for centers is, hey man, I'm just taking 20 seconds worth of information off of my quarterback's back, and maybe he can use that 20 seconds doing something different. That's basically what's important about center.
You know what I was thinking about?
Yes.
Wow. It's crazy, Vach. And by the way, clap something for Vach. I mean, he can coach O-line.
Come on, man.
So I mean, this dude here, man.
Okay. Let's watch this though. First, I was look playing center in high school. You would know this. Everybody just don't know the plays, right? Just because you started don't mean you know the play. So I had the ID fronts. And sometimes, like if it's a funky little combo, like if it's a funky bastard front is what they would call it, I had to tell my guard, hey, hey, make sure you call the 3 right. Make sure it's 4 right if it's called for. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one less thing for Dak to do. And if Dak doesn't have 20 seconds of that information, maybe Dak can look at the DBs more to find a better hot route to put us in.
Yeah, all I kept thinking about, and obviously Micah is a one-on-one athlete, but just how much he's able to cross those interior linemen up. And that's
tough for a center too, right?
Yeah,
talking about Micah Parsons lined up over you, because now, all right, Micah Parsons lined up over me. So week to week, schemes change, Foots. So if Alex Anzalone's lined up over me, I'm still treating him like a linebacker. Micah's lined up over me. I don't want my running back dealing with Micah. So this week, I got to be smart enough to go, okay, last week's game plan at the door. Now we got this whole new game plan where the Mike linebacker, we're treating him as a D lineman now. And maybe some of these centers, they may be physical enough to do the job, but maybe the mentals and having to do it that fast, maybe that's what's making them drop down the board a little bit.
Yeah, that's that right there, man. I think that's something to think about as we watch Eminem. I was thinking, is Eminem ever happy? I mean, this dude been mad since the movie 8 Mile. I'm looking at him.
That's like an awfully hot coffee pot.
Nah, I'm like, my man, is he ever happy? But no, in all seriousness, it's gotta show some love to Barry, man. Seeing that dude, I'm just a constant pro. Seeing him walk out on the stage, wow, that's cool.
That jacket fire.
Hey, you know what, Scott?
That's just money.
Shout out to hey, it ain't another one. Shout out to Detroit's production. That's kind of crazy. Like it look lit. It ain't lit as the skill is the Steel Show, but it's close.
Come on now.
Yo, Foots, I'm so proud of Skywalks. Yo, chat, y'all are in for all 1,700 or so. Y'all are in for such a treat.
How many bots? How many?
Well, let me just double check.
Almost 1,700 of y'all, man. Shouts out to the Bomb Squad.
Listen,
they can't deny us now, y'all. They can't deny
listen, man. I just want y'all to not only listen to the commentary, and we'll still eat. Like, if he's not talking, he ain't sleeping nothing. He back here cooking up. He back here cooking up some work. Look at all the transitions. Look at the graphics. Look at this. Ain't just about to be 3 people in a box talking to y'all. Like, this about to be some production. So, just as much you can appreciate my O-line talk or Foots talk about DBs, man. Nothing. No disrespect to nobody else, but there's not going to be another show that's presented in this way. So, show Will still some love too.
I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna let the work speak for itself though, and try to make sure I throw the alley for y'all guys. I told y'all I'm hitting y'all with the Magic Johnson, and it's just make it easy for y'all.
Don't hit me with a Magic Johnson, nothing, sir. Don't put a Magic Johnson, nothing.
That's how you know Voch don't watch no damn basketball. Don't nobody think about that part of Magic Johnson. We ain't talking about that.
We thinking about the assist, Voch. Voch, what's up with you, Voch?
I don't want no assist from Magic Johnson. What you talking about?
I feel bad for laughing, Scott. What's up with this dude, man?
Because it's Voch, man.
I just ruined.
I can't even hit him with the no more.
I just ruined 4 minutes of offensive line brilliance with my nonsense. That's what we're doing. We gonna laugh here, and the Bears are on the clock. They're at 30 seconds in.
Hey, so who do y'all think will be the pick here?
Why they BSing, man? What's going on, bro? What they doing, bro?
They're showing.
Who you think will be the pick here?
They're showing the trade which, by the way, the Bears absolutely own that trade. My goodness, I mean,
did we know that the owner was
God, that's terrible. That's goddamn terrible.
Oh, did we know that the owner was throwing drinks at people? Man, like I feel bad, and I spoke so highly of Bryce. I still think Bryce could be a great player. But it's just like he got fleeced. They got fleeced. Yeah.
But what like the Bears pick is like 9th. This is the Panthers pick. You know what I'm saying? This is the Panthers pick, a pick that could have helped your team. But
yeah, and then you didn't take Stroud. But so what's happened right now with the Bears?
Oh, that war room look crazy.
That
locked in.
They traded their quarterback away. So that means they're definitely, you would think they're taking Caleb, but Caleb is still sitting there, ladies and gentlemen. But they're likely taking Caleb Williams here. They're going to take their quarterback. They traded Justin Fields, and they decided to sign or trade for Keenan Allen, who injury-prone guy, right? But Keenan Allen is going to help out with whomever that quarterback is they draft. Sign DeAndre Swift. They're putting themselves in position, y'all, to whomever they draft, which it should be Caleb Williams. Okay. They're going to be able to step in there, and the learning curve should be shorter from a football standpoint.
Just for everybody that's watching right now, here is our countdown. We're at, y'all ready? 7 minutes and 50, 49.
Oh, I'm not even
48.
I won't even look in the chat when it get close.
46, 45.
Y'all not even y'all not gonna ruin my joy. I promise.
I wasn't looking either, but it's my responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Caleb. He's eating it all. Like he should. They have fun with it, Caleb, dude. Just this is what worries me. Now we get back to talking football.
Mm-hmm.
And again, know a lot of people close to him. So I'm listen. His family is people in the DMV who watch this show and watch y'all. So I want to be careful how I say this.
Foots. Give the people.
And I want to be and I want to be careful how I say this.
I'm gonna talk crazy.
I can't let you do it by my DMV brother. That's my guy. Here's the deal, Voch. A natural chip on his shoulder. You're talking about a kid who, when he was 12, they were playing FBU, which is an all-star series. Voch, I don't know if Texas does it, but I know the Midwest and Cali, FBU, they some of the top kids at the 8th grade level going to they're going to high school.
High school, yeah.
They do it. And he actually didn't play quarterback. So like he wasn't one of these, and he had been playing quarterback, but he didn't make the team to play quarterback. It was a team called the Maryland Heat. Okay, I actually have played against that team. And so the point is, he's been kind of he's getting on the phone right now. He's been kind of looked down on as well. He was just a running back. Then him and his dad getting this crazy regimen. I remember seeing him in the gym. He's throwing 100 passes. He's movement and all this type of stuff. But I think the thing that you just talk his game.
Sure.
He plays off script, so scheduled. His lower half is out of control. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What I want to know is how does he handle losses in the NFL, Vach? Can you handle 4 or 5 losses and not go into a shell and not let your ego get the best of you? Can you stay even keel? You know, you haven't done a lot of losing. That's one of the things that the acumen. I mean, think about it. This is a guy who took Spencer Rattler's job.
Sure.
People got to remember, Spencer Rattler was Caleb Williams before Caleb Williams. Took his job, okay, didn't give it back, follows his coach to USC. And so there's been really no adversity.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, dog, it's going to be some adversity when you get to Chicago.
This is adversity right here to me. What are we waiting for if we're Chicago?
Sure.
I mean, 5 minutes on the clock. Caleb is still sitting down. Are we going to?
I don't like all this sitting around and dramatic.
See fireworks right away. Because I remember back in the day, y'all remember Mario Williams? The Texans
Reggie Bush,
Mario Williams, the Texans had the #1 pick, and they told Mario Williams like 4 days before the draft, "Hey, dog, you our pick." And they said, Saints, you're on the clock because they're taking the Mario Williams. This is weird to me. That's all. I'm not saying they're going to pivot, but I just find this interesting. I do wonder, Vach, you talk about trading out. What if it's 1 and not 9? Now, this is where the fun gets. We can start to have some fun with these trades. What if it's 1, not 9?
In real life, Caleb should have the playbook already. He should have an apartment in Chicago. I wouldn't even be here. I'd just be in Chicago throwing with Keenan Allen and them right now. So while this little countdown is going on, I don't know. Could it possibly be, hey, we're comfortable with the clock restarted, so does that mean that the pick is in?
Oh, what the hell is happening?
Pick is in. It's probably Caleb. It's probably okay.
The pick is in, baby.
If it was a trade back situation, like could they trade back three spots because they feel good about Maye and Daniels or something like that? I don't know, but if the pick is in, then it should probably be Caleb.
And I want to go on record, and I'm not gonna
get the private chat, Vach, and Foots.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, I got. Okay, yeah, and I want to go on record for this. Drake Maye's my QB. He's my QB1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that for
let's go ahead and show him. Go ahead. Run down your top 5 quarterbacks, brother.
What'd you say, not Chuck?
This isn't for clicks. This isn't. I do believe that Drake Maye is the best quarterback in this draft. And it's close. But I do believe, and I got Drake Maye, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Spencer Rattler, JJ McCarthy. So you guys see where JJ McCarthy is on that list for me. Bo Nix. I'm higher on Michael Pratt, honestly, than a lot of people.
Uh-oh, you got some clapping in there.
Devin Leary, Sam Hartman, Joe Milton, Carter Bradley, South Alabama kid. Don't know if he was throwing to Jalen Tolbert. I wasn't able to get back that far in this film. Jordan Travis, who I don't really have a draftable grade on here, but I did watch him, and Caden Slovis. So when we get to the Maye pick, I'll really dig in on him and what I think about him. But as far as Caleb goes, if he's this pick, y'all, I mean, which he will be this pick. The thing that Chicago's blue collar, Sky. It's a gritty city.
Here we go.
I want to know, does he embrace it? Are we up? Okay, we're up. We're up.
The pick is in. We got Roger Goodell at the podium as we speak. We should be expecting Caleb Williams, and that's exactly who it is. The Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC. Foots, you were already talking about him. Do you think?
Caleb Williams, USC. He's about 6'1", not really as tall as people think. The lower half is outstanding. And you look at it, he's built kind of like a running back, Sky. One thing that this dude does do is play with eyes in the back of his head. So under control, Sky. Such a great feel in the pocket. I mean, everybody's calling card is going to be the Notre Dame game. I thought that was some of his better film as far as when you're watching for NFL things happening, Sky, still. As far as you're not going to be able to run around. His athleticism won't allow him to be able to Lamar Jackson the situation in the league because that's not his game. But the subtle movements within the pocket, the step throughs, one of the downsides that I do have with him, though, Sky, is can you play on time consistently? Can you take this check down and keep things moving? That's the only thing. And that's really like a minuscule thing, but it's a real thing because I think when you turn into some of that Kyler Murray, who people got to remember just how good Kyler Murray was. Y'all are in the great state of Texas. This is the best quarterback ever in the state of Texas.
Football player.
Gets to the league. Yeah, football player. Yeah. I mean, and the dude is 5'5". But the point is, running around, creator. All right. Comes from that Lincoln Riley, that whole nine, right? Cool. But now get to the league, windows closed, Vach.
Mm-hmm.
D-ends, and Kyler outruns a lot of defense, but D-ends are on you faster. Can he play on schedule? That's the question. The arm talent is there. The arm angle is there. I mean, he's been trained for this. That's why he went to USC. He's ready for this. I think he's ready. The arm, all of that's there. Can he play on schedule? Is for me, Vach. That's what it is for me.
Like you mentioned earlier, Foots, the whole question about can he handle adversity? I think that's something that could be forged in fire. You know, like, yeah, if you're the best player on your team your whole life, then yeah, you probably wouldn't have to go through that. But once you feel those windows closing, once you feel D linemen faster than what you thought they were, all it takes is, just a little bit of ass whoop for you to go, okay, so I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. Plus, something else about these big arm quarterbacks, like these super arm talent quarterbacks, is they play football in real life like it's Madden for us. Sometimes we'll pick up Madden and we're always going for the end zone. We're always trying to get that big play. And sometimes, like you said, Foots, the first thing that they teach you in football school is 4 yards is the best play in football. 4 yards. Because if you get 4 yards, 2nd and 6, 4 more yards, 3rd and 2, 4 more yards, 1st down, right? Every play doesn't have to be a home run. And if you watch his film, he goes for a lot of these home runs. Now he has a nice cast, and
yes.
The Bears or whatnot. He has Swift, he has DJ Moore, he got Keenan Allen. They're probably going to draft somebody later. He got dudes, and maybe early he's going to attempt to always try to get big plays. He's going to try to always go for the home run, but there's value in having veteran wide receivers, right? Foot's Keenan Allen say, hey man, hit me on the slant. That's okay. The hitch is okay. Dunk down is okay. DeAndre Swift is a fantastic pass catching running back. Dump it down on the swing. It's okay. So I think once he figures that out, once he, deals with a little bit of adversity, and then that's when we're going to see him blossom. Year one is going to be a whole bunch of throwing it around and showing off that arm talent. Cam Newton used to go out there and throw for 400 yards a game.
First game ever.
And they was 2-14. Go ahead, Scott.
I'll tell you what, one of the more underrated things that the Bears did, aside from their wide receivers and the weapons, they brought in Shane Waldron. And he's a guy that comes from that Rams tree, right? The Sean McVay tree. And we should know about him, Foots. We broke him down when we was talking about the Seahawks and the Cowboys playing. And what did the Seahawks do to Dallas? They moved that ball up and down the field in Dallas with Geno Smith and what? Weapons. So now Shane Waldron gets to go over there, have DeAndre Swift. We'll see what they do at 9. You got Keenan Allen, I'm sorry. You got DJ Moore. And Geno's been around, but we know that Caleb is a little bit more talented. So can Shane Waldron in year one, can Caleb Williams be the first quarterback ever in the Chicago Bear history to throw for 4,000 yards? I know that's a lot for a rookie, but we just saw C.J. Stroud do it with another guy who comes from a similar tree in Shane Waldron and Bobby Slowick. So coordinators and situations absolutely matter. Tougher in Chicago, weather and whatnot, but he's set up for success in year one, statistically at least.
Do y'all think Dan and them on the phone right now?
Who?
Dan Quinn.
Oh, they got up, man. They're hyped. They're happy. They got their guy.
Okay, they got their guy. Okay,
I haven't seen Jaden Daniels.
The pick is in.
Well, okay, the pick is in. Looks like Jaden's smiling, so we'll see. I'm on record. I think that this, and I'm going to have some strong remarks here if Jaden is the pick. Me being in DC, I hate to be like, I don't want to take all the points. I know this team well, Sky.
Please.
I know this organization. They can say,
don't worry about me.
I actually got a dude who I know, a really close friend of mine who was actually the receivers coach there last year. And so I know this building. It does scare me drafting a quarterback there. Some teams just literally have an omen over them, guys.
Chicago's one of them too.
You know what I mean, Scott?
One of them, yeah.
It's crazy. As you talk through this stuff, you're like, man, you lucky to have Dak Prescott, dog.
For sure.
I think we look at what Joe Burrow did in that 1 year of success, and we think that every quarterback can do some of that stuff, and he'll just transition seamlessly to the league. That ain't the case, y'all.
There's not a Joe Burrow in this class.
There's not a Joe Burrow in this class, Skywalker, still.
Joe was special. Joe was so special. Even if you look at Caleb's talent, right?
Right.
Joe Burrow whooped everybody. Like he whooped 5 top 10 defenses that year with his guys. Nah, man. Caleb may be a better talent, but we just talking about a winner, a processor, a dog, a champion. Nah,
it's the P word you said for me, Vach, processing.
Foots. Michael Penix is closer to Burrow than Caleb is.
Hello.
But we'll talk about that later.
We gonna talk.
We'll talk about that later.
We ain't talk quarterbacks, Vach, so we get to go.
The pick is in. Washington is on the clock, and we got Roger Goodell at the podium right now, and they select quarterback out of LSU, Jaden Daniels, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, Foots. Tell us about Jaden Daniels, LSU Heisman winner.
You know, the numbers were stupid this year. I want to make sure that I say that, Sky. The numbers were outstanding. The athleticism, you see him, jumping into tackles, doing front flips, back flips. He comes in, he leaves that Arizona State program, y'all, and it's like, who? Mm-hmm. What? Yeah. Maybe a 3rd round pick as you're watching. And he just keeps throwing touchdown after touchdown, throwing deep ball to Brian Thomas Jr. and throwing crosser. Not deep middle crosser, but crosser to Malik Nabers. And, Malik Nabers did do a lot of the work, but so did Jaden Daniels. There's nothing taken from him. I think that his arm talent this year improved. He's an older prospect, Sky. Do we have any concerns about that?
At quarterback, I don't know.
Yeah, at quarterback, he's played a lot of football. I mean, here's a guy, guys, he was throwing Brandon Ayuk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, Brandon Ayuk's about to get his 2nd contract in the NFL.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
that's
his grandpa. But look though, Foots,
hey, Scott, I told you I'm bringing my fastball,
that's
baby.
Kind of crazy.
Foots, I'm starting to feel like age matters less and less because typically with an older quarterback, those dudes they're more ready to go right now. So quarterback is if you're in college playing quarterback, that's kind of like the D League a little bit, right? Like just hang around, get your experience, and then with all this money that these college players are getting, they're definitely going to hang around and get much more experience. But just Footsy King, real fast, 3,800 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. He takes care of the football, Foots. He take a lot of hits, but he takes care of the football. And listen, if I just read those numbers, 3,800, 40, and 4 interceptions, you would think that's like all like okay, that's cool. That's a great year. He still added 135 carries for 1,100 yards and 10 additional touchdowns. The dude's a stud, Footsy King. He's a stud. I don't think people are trying to put him in this Lamar Jackson category, where he just kind of runs around. It took Lamar Jackson maybe 3 or 4 years to really like develop his passing game, and people still kind of feel like Lamar is not where he could be passing the football. Jaden Daniels is much farther as a passer right now than Jackson was coming out of Louisville. And then we I'll say this. I don't like him being compared to Lamar athletically. Sure.
And that was one of my comments that I even tweeted that out. I don't see the same wiggle. I see more of a straight line athlete, that's not a bad thing. I just don't see the same wiggle as Lamar Jackson. Lamar can make you miss in a phone booth. Sure. I want to be clear about when he was at Louisville, he took the nation by storm, as did Jaden Daniels. He won a Heisman. So this isn't a knock. But go ahead, Vach. I just wanted to make that point.
No. Like Jaden Daniels is a long runner. Like he builds up speed as he runs forward. Lamar can stop and start and not lose speed, right? So they are different as runners, but Jaden Daniels running is special. Like, it's not like a Josh Allen type run where you can catch him, but you got to bring him down. Like, he can actually leave you. He can go. And thing about him running, two things really, is him being able to just run. That might be the reason why he only has 4 picks in college versus SEC defenses, right? 4 picks, that's really taking care of the football. But somebody better teach his ass how to slide.
I was just about to say, dog. What I want to see in the NFL is, can he deal with the grown ass men in the league? Because he was getting rocked in college, and if he doesn't know how to get down, he's a wiry string bean type of dude, and I don't even know if his frame can put on that type of muscle to deal with it. So, and I know he was a great decision maker, and he probably can throw from the pocket just fine. But man, if they decide to try to RG3 him, he may literally be the next RG3 in Washington. So I would caution the running Jaden Daniels a bunch, just because I don't think his frame can hold up in the NFL.
That's where we get to some of I think he plays wild at times. And
Sure.
I think that this was 100% a fan base pick. Got to put seats in the stadium. There's times
I think he's
that
legitimately a good player though, because I don't think they just taking him. It's just exciting. Like he can play,
But
and
no matter who they took, it was going to be an exciting pick, I think.
And he's much better than the boy they got there right now.
That's why I push back, fellas. I don't think that Drake Maye would have sold tickets for this. I'm here. I'm out here.
Fair.
You got to think of look at the type of people we talking about. There's black people in DC. It's a lot of black people in the
city, baby.
Come on, Scott, and it's
what you mean? What they got to do with what I'm saying, Fuzz? What you talking about?
They want a certain type of quarterback.
Hey, Petey Green out there, Fox. What you talking about, man?
Oh, Emma. They didn't want him.
We got the J Daddy.
But I will say this though, one more thing before we move on to the Patriots picks. There may be some watching football wizards or just fans in general, right? You know how they go. Well, he was this good because Brian Thomas and Nabers was there.
No, I won't.
Well, he gets to go to the Washington football Wizards. Terry ain't no slouch, and Dotson ain't no slouch neither. So he does have a good complimentary set of help. It ain't like the help they got in Chicago. They got some help in Chicago, but he does have his own help. Patriots are here.
Before we get to the Patriots pick, I also say this. Washington is another team to watch, Vach, as far as a team trading back into the first round.
When that bell ring, brother, we got to get to the pick.
No, he didn't. Hey.
Roger Goodell was at the podium with the third selection in the 2024 NFL Draft. The New England Patriots select quarterback Drake Maye out of North Carolina.
Quarterback one, Fist. Tell us about your quarterback one, because I don't agree. But go ahead, sir.
Hey,
tell the Patriots fans why they should be excited about your quarterback one.
Disagree. Book it. Drake Maye is going to be the best quarterback in this class. Now,
got 9 picks, go Fist.
Time stamp it. That's okay. Time stamp it.
Interceptions, Fist. Not like picks, but he got 9 interceptions.
Okay, so hold on, whoa, time out. I'm not gonna let you do that because I didn't. If we gonna do that, then we gonna rumble all game. You want to rumble all night?
He has multiple games with multiple interceptions. Though,
how did time out? How did Patrick Mahomes look in college? How many interceptions did he throw?
Patrick was fantastic in college. Y'all can go on my channel. You can go to my YouTube. He ain't bad though.
But
he ain't bad though.
But we can't knock the kid. Let me.
I ain't knocking him. I'm just saying he's your quarterback one.
The first thing you said was he threw interceptions. Don't do that. Okay. This is my point.
You're right.
I love it.
Better athlete than people.
They know. Oh, then people give him. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Then people give him credit. I thought he was about to say that.
Go ahead, Voch. Voch got the quarterback one. Go ahead.
Your quarterback one. He's my free.
Go ahead. Tell me everything wrong with Drake Maye. Go ahead.
I don't want to say everything wrong with Drake Maye. I do think that
I go Scott when Voch is done shitting on him.
I do think Drake has great size.
This is for his dude right here. He ain't with this.
Go ahead.
He ain't with. Look, I think Drake has great size. I think Drake has a great arm, and I think
no. Don't tell me that good. Tell me everything.
I think Drake does. We're not gonna do this in front of Sky's audience. We can do this on my show, but not in front of Sky's audience. And Drake also has great mobility. Foots, to your point, he does have great mobility. My only concern for him, Foots, is when he gets down in games, he stays down in games. I want to see people that can work them.
What game?
I'll look it up. Go ahead and talk about it. I got you, sir.
Oh yeah, because everybody's gonna go to the NC State game, and that's fine. Okay. But he also had no talent. Tez Walker didn't play that game, so we got to come with more original arguments to me. Because I'm also watching a guy, Caleb Williams, who cried after a game, right or wrong. We got it. I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, wow. I did my homework on the guy. So to me, it's just like I'm looking at a guy who's 6'4". He makes Caleb look small, by the way.
Sure, he's a big boy.
So the arm talent is there. The offensive line this year for North Carolina sucked. Obviously, he played better last year, Vach. You're not wrong there. Drake played better last year. The interceptions, yeah, but they also changed the offense this year in North Carolina. Like, they did some different things. Listen, I would love this kid with talent. The problem is now he's with the Patriots.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second because
ain't no talent in New England neither, unless you talking about Ayuk and them. He ain't there yet. So go ahead, Scott.
We're talking about excuse me. We're talking about the player, the talent that is Drake Maye. And if my audio is not right, I'll turn it up for y'all.
You good, bro?
We're talking about for the chat. It seemed like I might not be up. We're talking about Drake Maye, the talent, but I say this often: where you go matters a whole lot. I love Patrick Mahomes, one of my favorite quarterbacks of this generation. If Patrick Mahomes does not fall into Andy Reid and Brett Veach and Hill and those boys, maybe he's not Pat at this point in time in his career. And now we're going to and I understand this may be an upgrade to some people without Bill Belichick there, but new head coach there, new offensive coordinator, no weapons. It's going to be tough, I think, for Drake Maye early on. So can he, as we know, Foots, and this is a question for you, when young quarterbacks come into the league and they have to rely on their skill sets, their kind of playmaking ability, can he hone that in a little bit, or is he going to say, man, I got to put this on my back and try to do too much, and now I get him in trouble because he don't got enough weapons?
I mean, dog, Juju, Kendrick Bourne, I'm looking at my notes I wrote, Hunter Henry, they have pretty much nothing. So I'm with you. Like when Juju Smith-Schuster's your 2, that's rough. I will say this. Gerard Mayo is fine with sitting Drake Maye for a year, half a year. They're fine with what's my guy's name? Not Bridgewater, but who's the quarterback? They brought him back. He was with Washington last year. Mm-hmm. They're fine with starting him and letting Drake Maye develop and letting Drake Maye get back. I mean, he threw 38 touchdowns and he threw a lot of those last year. A lot of his touchdowns to doctors. I mean, North Carolina isn't some football hub. It's not. North Carolina isn't a football hub.
So
Jacoby Brissett. This is my thing. He was an A1 basketball player. His brother played basketball. I know, but no, hold on, time out. Don't do that, because when it comes to quarterbacks, for me, I love 2-sport athletes. And so just to me, I just don't like pooping on a guy. We thought Trevor Lawrence would be amazing. Goes to a bad situation.
Vach, where is Drake Maye on your stack?
Drake Maye is my 3rd quarterback.
So I wouldn't say that Vach is necessarily pooping on him.
I'm not pooping on him. I mean, he's a top 3 quarterback in his class. It's just that, you got him as your first, and I just need a question. Foots, real fast.
Is this one? I'm not moving off of it.
Foots, real fast. Is this Marvin or is this Nabers?
Oh, for me, it's Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay, Nabers is my number 1, but it's probably going to be.
The pick is in.
It's probably going to be Marvin.
And the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver, Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr. Hopefully his dad is not there because we know what he does. So take it away.
Hey, we going crazy. Hey, what he do? What he do?
I don't know nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hey, all right. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look at my. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If this wasn't the pick, you would question Arizona to me.
So my mic.
I can honestly say you could see a world where Malik Nabers could be a better player. Some could even argue that his ceiling may be higher. But this dude with Kyle McCord, I think I remember texting you mid-year. That game, matter of fact, the Maryland game.
Yeah.
If you want to see a game
DMV.
if you want to see a game where a dude literally took the game over, they threw a touchdown to him, Scott. They threw a skinny post. You watching film, bro. They threw a skinny post to him and got called back. They went right back to the same play and threw it again, and he caught the touchdown again. Mm-hmm. So that just tells you everything you need to know about him. I remember the Rose Bowl a few years ago. It was clear who was the best receiver on the field, and that was Jackson Smith and Jigba. Emeka Abuga was on that team. So, I mean, what do y'all feel about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Like, I love the guy. I think I haven't graded a speed, weight, route runner that high since Larry Fitzgerald.
What I really like about
team that had Larry Fitzgerald.
Wow. What I really like about Marvin is that he was the same player with CJ Stroud than he is, that he was this year with nonsense at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And he's a guy. What I really like about him, no Foots, he doesn't just rest on physical ability. He doesn't just rest on I'm bigger than you, I'm longer than you, and fast. I would love to have seen him run that 4.340 that they were talking about, Foots. But he doesn't just rest on those things. He does the dirty work. He does the route running, and he can find himself open. Hey, if you're one of these bigger receivers, you're going to win by bodying guys out, by going to get the football, and he can do that. But he's also winning with speed. He's also winning with the route running. You understand? So, it's just being able to do those things. There was this movement back in the day when Calvin Johnson came out, right? And Calvin Johnson was so impactful. Everybody wanted receivers like they were Calvin Johnson. And over time, teams kind of evolve past that mindset and go, okay, we'll take a smaller player and do this with him. We'll take a medium-sized player and do this with him. I'm not saying Marvin's Calvin Johnson because Calvin Johnson is different. But in terms of a player that can win with size, that can win running past you, that can win with, ball tracking, speed, bodying you up, straight hands, Marvin is he's a wide receiver that's been able to do that in a long line of not being able to see wide receivers do that in a long time. It's just the total package kind of guy. So I love Marvin to pieces. He's my wide receiver too, but people think just because he's my wide receiver too, I think he trash. I think Marvin's incredible. And Kyler Murray got a one. This much better than Hollywood Brown being your wide receiver one,
I think what's so special about Marvin Harrison Jr. is, and this is something we talk about with Keon Coleman, the size. I always expect guys that are 6'3", 6'4", they're not going to be as twitchy. They're not going to have the feet aren't going to be as. But Marvin Harrison Jr., he's 6'3", roughly a little 200 pounds, but he can move and release like a guy that's 6'1", 190. You know what I'm saying? So it's special. He's a special talent, and I'll be shocked if he's not a perennial Pro Bowler, especially now that he has Kyler Murray throwing the rock. Kyler's going to spam him. He may break some rookie records this year because they're going to spam him.
Scott, to add to this, Arizona got a sneaky little receiver core. Okay,
they got rid of Rondell Moore.
They did, but you guys remember Michael Wilson? I was watching that Philly game. That was the Stanford kid of Vach.
Yeah,
that was the Stanford kid that went crazy the Senior Bowl, and he went crazy late in the year against Philly. They got a sneaky little core now, and then Dortch isn't bad. Like they got some sneaky pieces.
Sneaky to do what?
Yeah, like sneaky the word.
Okay, they some hiding, sneaking, ducked off characters. You're right. Sneaking.
In all seriousness, I'm surprised that they didn't trade.
I probably would have.
So,
I'm surprised they didn't trade.
But Scott, what do we? Hold on, Scott. Now, man, you got to box a little bit. We trading away from great players, Scott.
It's a bad team. And you're right though, Marvin. I shouldn't use the word surprise. I wouldn't have been surprised how they did it. Maybe I should say that, Foots.
Nah, you're not wrong. I would have liked them to remember what they did last year. Didn't they get out then come back in the first round? I mean, in the first 10, they did something crazy.
Houston did that.
I think Arizona did it.
Arizona traded out, and yeah. Arizona traded out. They got Paris, and then they traded back up and got somebody. That was 365 days ago. I don't remember.
Hey, Paris a good player, Vach.
But what Will is saying though, is like, that's Marvin, and you wouldn't trade away from Marvin. But can you hold somebody hostage for that last quarterback and trade back 4 spots, get some more picks, and still get like Rome Odunze or something? I think that's his steal. But
you know what probably happened if I look at the do I have it up here? Tankathon real quick. I don't know that they were comfortable. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yep, I got Tankathon up. I don't know if they're comfortable because you look at unless it was the Giants to jump 2 spots to get their quarterback. Yeah. Tennessee, I don't think is going to do it. Atlanta got their guy. Chicago, so they would have had to probably go Minnesota at 11. And are you comfortable jumping down 7 spots? Vach? Maybe that's why they didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Keep your guy.
You don't want to move out of like blue chip area. Right. So that's fair. Go ahead, Foots.
I got another one for y'all. I think some of the JJ McCarthy noise that we heard was just that. It was noise.
And we knew that. Yeah, we knew that was nonsense.
Hopefully people didn't really believe that he was going to go top 3 or jump one of the big 3. So I think the Giants. I want to see what the Giants do with this next pick after the Chargers.
Let's just do this though. Chargers on the clock. This is where the board doesn't all the way open up, because this could just be Nabers and we just move on with our life, right? But Harbaugh's here. Maybe they want to run the ball a little bit more. They're probably going to restart every single thing. We know that they love Joe Alt, and they're not trading back, so the pick is in. So, Foots, is this wide receiver for you, or is this O-line for you?
If it's Harbaugh with that staff, I think it's O-line. Watch when we get to hear you talk. I think it's O-line. They just went Quentin Johnston last year. He's not stopping me from drafting a receiver, but that was a massive fail. I mean, he was bad last year, y'all. Couldn't run routes, couldn't drops.
They went Quentin Johnston, but they lost so much wide receiver help too, though. So that's why I think it's important. That's why I think it's interesting. But there's elite offensive linemen here, and there's elite wide receivers here. So I don't think
how we feeling about this? Where the draft starts, 4 or 5. So
is this a rebuild for the Chargers? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course it is, right? Because you went out and got the new coach. You got rid of your high paid running back. You didn't get rid of him, but you didn't re-sign him. You traded Mike. You got rid of Mike Williams. You got rid of Keenan Allen. This is a bit of a rebuild for sure. Yes, it makes sense. They got Johnston, Davis, and Palmer. Nabers right here. I mean, come on, with Herbert. Yes, he could use this for sure. But and most of you guys number one offensive lineman still on this board here in Joe Alt. And if you can now, Alt is a left tackle. Would you move Slater to right? And you got Slater and Alt.
I'm not moving Slater at all, because Slater.
So maybe that's why they're saying Latham.
Slater is and so this could be Latham, but it could be Fuaga also. Like, those are native right tackle players.
There you go. So Vach, that's my bad. That's where I'm at with it. Then if you're not going to move Slater, you're not going to take Alt, because I don't think you're going to put Alt at right tackle. Then take Fuaga, but then they probably not going to take Fuaga.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man. But and even on that conversation, right? They put so much in the offensive line recently. Like 2021 Slater, 2022 was Zion Johnson. We know that they like them. Salyer from Georgia, Foots. He was a 6th round pick. So he's actually played pretty good too. They've been putting resources in the offensive line, so we'll see.
But if it's not O-line, who do you like here, Vach?
If it's not O-line, I like Nabers.
Okay.
If it's not O-line, I like Nabers.
They got.
I said we got shut up.
Let's project as he keeps talking. with the fifth pick in the 2024 NFL draft, almost said San Diego. The LA Chargers select offensive lineman Joe Alt, Notre Dame.
Joe Alt is a humongous man. He is a mountain. I always like to liken this thing to Mario Kart, Foster King. I don't know if you ever heard this example. They got fast cars, they got heavy cars, and they got the ones in the middle. Fuaga is your run game demon. Olu is your passing, your pass blocking, black belt savant. But Joe Alt is right there in the middle. But just because he's in the middle doesn't mean that he's lacking in the run game or he's lacking in the passing game. A very steady player. And sometimes at offensive line, there's nothing wrong with being steady. There's nothing wrong with being boring. There's a lot of narrative around the offensive lineman this year in this class. Experience. How much have you played? Joe Alt damn near played 1,200 snaps just at left tackle, just on passing plays. Right. So he's a guy that I think, just in my own personal opinion, there's so much upside for him as a pass blocker. He's such a natural run blocker, such a natural leaning dude, not leaning in a bad way, but leaning like if you're in A gap, you're not going to be there no more. You understand? So powerful player, big player, mammoth player, great feet, great athleticism. What I really like about him is, you can move him, pull him, do the zone stuff with him, hat on hat stuff with him, put him on the second level, let him deal with linebackers and punish him when he's doing vertical blocks. He cuts the defense in half if he's working sideways, down blocks, reach blocks, digging those guys out of those gaps. So whatever scheme you're running, and if I had to imagine, Harbaugh probably wants to do some gap stuff, probably wants to do some duo stuff, probably wants to hit A gap and B gap. Joe Alt is a dude that's going to help whoever his guards are. And let's just see if he's the left tackle, so the right tackle. So him and Salyer, that's 610 pounds. Pussy King, just moving people in B gap, dogging people in B gap. I love Joe Alt so much experience, so much ass whoop, so much nastiness, so steady. He only gave up like 1 sack in 5 years, and that was last year, something like that. So I love him to pieces, and there's so much upside for him to get better. He's super high floor guy, but he can still get a little bit better. I can see why they chose him over maybe like a Olu or maybe like a
Latham.
Fuaga. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so built to go right now. And if you got Justin Herbert, you might need the offensive lineman that's built to go right now. So that makes a little bit of sense. Plug him and play him. He's good to go.
I was just about to say, man, John Harbaugh, yes, he plays the tough nose football at Michigan, but let's also understand that he knows that quarterback is important. That's one position he understands the importance of, and to protect them, whether that be to run the football or literally protect them with offensive linemen. So now for the foreseeable future, their $100-something million quarterback has bookend tackles. And look, Alt's probably going to be a Pro Bowler with Slater. So he can drop back and feel comfortable because we've seen Herbert get hurt. And he got hurt last year, end of the season. So this is a home run pick for them. And then get another high pick in the next round where maybe they go get some Michigan kid.
These picks flying off the board, Giants picks. I just want to add this real quick.
The Giants are not messing around, so I'm assuming their guy is sitting right there for him, and they're running to the podium right now. There was no waiting around here. Go ahead, Foots.
Real quick thing on Alt. His dad forced him to play tight end all the way up until his senior year in high school, just because he wanted his feet to be correct. Put a bunch of weight on him. Got him at Notre Dame. So this is a guy who has amazing footwork. I think everything you said about him, Vach, was spot on, bro.
Interesting here for the Giants. We hear a lot of buzz about quarterback, but they could also get receiver here for Daniel Jones if they don't go Q. I mean, your boy's there, right? Nabers.
Yeah. I think the Giants can get offensive line because Evan Neal just didn't pan out the way that you thought he would pan out, and they could go quarterback. Daniel Jones costs a lot of money for them right now, but it ain't like he's making any changes. I think that'll be nonsense because J.J. McCarthy coming in to replace Daniel Jones is a goddamn Spider-Man meme. They just pointing at each other. I think they're the same guy. But also you can go for wide receiver help right here. Darren Waller flat out retired. So even if Daniel Jones is coming back, there's no really throwing the football to anybody. Like whoever this is them and Jalen Hyatt and the other miscellaneous characters that's playing wide receiver for the Giants right now. So Saquon Barkley is gone. So in my mind, you could go offensive line right here to maybe boost your run game with whoever your day 2 running back is going to be and possibly make things easier for Daniel Jones. I think if you draft receiver, I think you're putting more responsibility on Daniel Jones, which is nonsense. If you draft offensive line, that'll help him and the run game. But the pick is in.
Yeah, but they get a lot of flack for not having enough to help them. So they're in a weird spot.
Yeah, man.
6th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select wide receiver LSU Malik Nabers.
I think that this is the one that Vosh just hit on the head. I could see a Malik Nabers failed mission, unfortunately. And that would be no doing of his own, but we just spent this first hour talking about situation matters, quarterback matters, O-line matters, and I think that Voch, he kind of got a look on his face like one of his children just went to his auntie house that be smoking weed and
roaches over.
Ain't no food in the refrigerator. Like, wait, I know you want to see my baby, but you not gonna take care of him. He gonna come back. He ain't showered, he ain't brushed his teeth. He got a cavity now. I love Malik Nabers. He's the best after the catch in his draft. He is an amazing route runner. He plays above the rim, believe it or not, at his size. He can go up and get the ball. He can literally do everything. It's him and Marvin Harris and him 1A, 1B. Even though I had Odunze, I still love what he can do for you, right? Yeah. Now situation matters, though, to me. That's my 2 cents on it. Because Daniel Jones, we've seen him have, he did have Galladay. That was kind of a dud. But then, Waller, that didn't work out. Jalen Hyatt, I don't know what was the deal. You just went Hyatt. So now you have 2 of the same type of receiver. Obviously, Nabers is a much better player than Hyatt, but that same body type, Sky. That's interesting to me.
This is a home run pick for them because I think he fits Brian Daboll and is a Kafka, their scheme. They needed – I know it sounds weird because they had some guys like Robinson or Wan'Dale Robinson who were some yak guys, but they're not Malik Nabers. They can get Malik the ball on those crossers. We got, a few years ago, we got hit up with a few of those in Dallas with some of those crossers, the play actions, the boots. And Malik Nabers can be a guy for Daniel Jones right now. What I mean by right now is I don't have to drop back and wait for him to get deep. I can get him the ball at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, a slant, a quick in, and he's filthy getting open and creating separation and doing. You talk about the rack, the yak, Voch. He may be, if not one of the best rack yak wide receiver in this class. And I know Malachi Cordy's another guy, but this dude different.
I think also too, though, Sky, this may not just be, and this is to push back on Foots a little bit, right? Yes, yeah, like situation matters. I think Dayball is a fantastic coach that can situationally use anybody.
I don't think he's a fantastic head coach.
Foots, watch this though. Foots, watch this though. What if this isn't a pick to help Daniel Jones? What if this is them just taking the best dude, and whenever Daniel Jones is gone and we get the next quarterback, all right, next quarterback, Malik Nabers is a star that's ready for you to just come in, and we're just building a house right now, right? And if there's any type of receiver, we always talk about Dak friendly guys, right? Because we're Cowboy guys, right? We always talk about, well, they talk about Dak friendly. We just comment on that. Malik Nabers is the kind of dude that's new quarterback friendly. Rome Odunze is a guy that, he has this black belt and body control and back shoulder fading and all that kind of stuff. You need a dude at quarterback to really know where to place the ball and really understand the leverages of the defense to be able to use Rome properly or to use Marvin properly. Nabers is a guy, if you got a nuanced quarterback, cool, you can use him. If you don't, scheme them a slant, scheme them a bubble, scheme them something easy, and Nabers will just do the rest for you, just like they do in San Francisco. So I think if there's any wide receiver here that fits Daniel Jones and the Giants the most, it is Nabers.
See, only reason why I want to push back, and I don't want to be that guy on every pick, but I feel like that's more Rome Odunze.
I can't talk about Drake May, but you can sit up here and poo and she and kiki on Malik Nabers. You're something else.
I feel like that's more Odunze because of the size. I'm listen,
but you still have to place the football to take advantage of that size, though, Foots.
No. But this is what I'm telling you. I think that what Rome Odunze is able to do, like he's kind of the only thing that he's not able to do is run after the catch as well as Malik Nabers to me. I think they're comparable route runners. I think their comparable play strength is outstanding, both of them. I mean, listen. Malik is going to be fine with good quarterback play. With bad quarterback play, it could get goofy. And listen, there are some receivers who can overcome, bad quarterback play, but we just got to see it. And I want to push back on Dayball. I do think that Dayball is a good OC. I do question some of his head coaching verbato, to say the least. Now, I don't know if there's that GM
there from a head coaching standpoint in that locker room, but from offensive scheme,
offensively is no doubt, scheme. Scott.
I mean, he's winning games with Danny,
Tommy games in 2022. 23.
Okay, Scott, let me say this. He's won game with nonsense since he's been here. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be Tyrod Taylor, whether it be Tommy, whether it be Jones, he was fantastic if he has a talent like Josh Allen, right? So maybe this is just the BPA guy. We got Nabers, and when we assuming Dayball don't get fired after this mess, now we can then look around for a quarterback that can possibly,
build
do a little
house,
something.
Build the foundation first.
Build the house now. We're just going to assume Daniel Jones ain't even there. But go ahead.
We got the Tennessee Titans on the clock right now. Their pick is in, waiting for Roger Goodell to come up. But let's take a quick little reset here and go over these picks. We had number 1 was Caleb Williams to the Bears. Number 2, Jaden Daniels. Number 3, Drake Maye. So I think chalk happened in the first 3, and then Marvin Harrison, first 4. Joe Alt makes sense. So I would say 5 out of the first 6 is chalk, and you could argue 6 out of 6 is chalk. So nothing's shocking right now, Foots and Vach. I think everything is kind of playing out safely for the Cowboys. If you look into the Cowboys war room, it's playing out safely for any other team that kind of predicted this if you did any mock drafts in real life for these teams. So we're chalk right now.
Yep.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead. No. Just saying. We're really not going to see much big change to like pick 9 and 10. So that's really what we're waiting on. Go ahead, though, Foots.
9, gotta watch the Bears bailing, like you said earlier. Who was that? Was that you or somebody said maybe the Bears maybe want to get more picks?
Yeah, it was one of us.
So gotta watch that. And then JJ McCarthy, I think, is now starting to some of that top 10 talk may be fluff, because you look at the Titans, they're going O-line. You look at the Falcons pick is very interesting. Do we see the first defender? I want some of these tackles to. I mean, not say tackles, but I want to see what happens. For Dallas's sake, what position? Let me ask y'all. What position do we need to start getting drafted? I would actually love McCarthy to get drafted, and Penix, but
some of these corners.
Yeah, realistically, corners and more quarterbacks. If you can get 2 more quarterbacks in the next 10 picks, and you can start seeing some of these corners fall off at the end of the top 10 and beginning of that 10 to 20, that'd be great. Because right now we're 6 picks in. There's 1 lineman that's off the board, but it could start getting a little dicey now.
Yeah, the run. We'll watch for that run. The Titans got their guy. I think this, Vach, they needed a left tackle.
Is Will Levis the guy? Do you think that they think
that's a great question?
That Will Levis is the guy? Because if they don't believe that Will Levis is the guy, we definitely got to find out.
You know what though, Vach? That's a great question.
Nobody asked that question.
High, low. I feel like they'll get him this year, but you don't know if you're gonna be drafting this high. High, low. It's interesting. That's a good question.
I feel like if they didn't, they would have tried to trade up with maybe the Patriots to get one of the big 3.
Oh boy, JJ got neither. So.
If they maybe they fall in love with one of these other quarterbacks. Well, the pick is in though.
Wide receivers there if they like Rome. Let's see.
We'll see what they go with. With the 7th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select offensive tackle J.C. Latham out of Alabama. Vach.
Go Vach.
So J.C. Latham may be the biggest this year. Last year, I was pretty high on, Jones from Ohio State because he was just so humongous. If there's a humongous character with one of the longest wingspans that can actually play, is J.C. Latham. Now, the big question that we're going to have to find out is he got the whole grill on TV? All right, cool. Is he going to be guard for the Titans or is he going to be tackle for the Titans? Now, they recently drafted offensive line and Peter Skoronski didn't, I don't think he lived up to what his draft pick should be. But J.C. Latham is far from that. JC is a mover of people. He's another heavy character, so he can lean and put 340 pounds on you. But he's sneakily a nice-footed, highly technical pass blocker. And, you wouldn't think of it. I mean, just look at his body. Look at how humongous he is. You wouldn't think that he was a character that has kind of good feet for his size. He doesn't have the best feet in the world. He doesn't have the Olu feet or the Troy feet or the I don't know, like Ginobili feet, right? He doesn't have the slightest of feet, but the feet that he has, right? He uses like there's no waste with his movement, and it's interesting, right? He is a hand fighter, technically in that way, but if anything, he's more of a mauler. He's more of a lean on you guy, and he is one of those bear claw, get my hands on you and you don't move anymore guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Titans use him, whether they line him up inside or outside. But no matter what happens, what I think this means is that Tony and Tajay may be running more on the inside because he's a dude that lines up and pushes people. He's not the slight foot guy. And another interesting point, he's right tackle at Bama, but I think something that makes him even better at guard is that if he's a tackle and he can use these movements, he is a slight footed guy, like moving wise, right? It's not perfect. Take the solid moving dude, put him inside, and all of that space, all that island space goes away. So now instead of me having to figure out what you're setting up or to figure out what you're throwing at me, his best move is quick setting, taking one step, grabbing you and holding on to you, right? That's better at guard. So I think we're going to have a conversation with the Tennessee Titans and figure out what they really like about him. But I'm not crazily shocked, but J.C. Latham going ahead of Olu and going ahead of Fuaga is pretty interesting.
I'm a little shocked, Rosh. Amazing breakdown right there, because you go look at the Titans and what they're rolling with. Nick's little brother, right? That's what you call him? Nick Petit Ferrer.
Petit Fetty, little brother.
He's one of the guys, Duncan. So they definitely need an offensive tackle. So I do wonder if that's where he will start, at least right tackle. But they could use any position except for maybe center on that offensive line. So, but if your guy, if you think that Levis is your guy, you got to protect him at some point. So I'm with you. If it was going to be a pass protector, you go with Olu Fashanu. You put him in there at left tackle. So I wonder if they're sliding him inside and saying, hey, those backs you just talked about, we're going to run this rock. Or if they put him at right tackle and say, we're going to run this rock. But, man, I don't know how you take him over Olu.
interesting thing.
I was about to say though, Scott. Like if even if they do prioritize run game, like I like JC, but he ain't the run game guy. Fuaga's the run game guy. But
that's true too. Yeah.
I do think that the power's there. Vach, would you agree with Latham?
I think he's more heavy and strong. So what that means to me is that he don't move backwards a bunch because it's hard to move him, but parlaying that weight makes him more prone to moving forward. But he is strong. But
picks are coming in, man.
Versus like Fuaga and them, you know what I'm saying? But he is a stronger guy, but he's 340 and strong. So that's what that is with.
I'm kind of with Sky. Olu kind of would have been my guy there. Sure. Or, I mean, still got Odunze on the board. Traylon Burks
Penix got a party tonight. Like Michael Penix is hosting a
he must
draft
know
party.
He must know something. The Falcons are on the clock. They got their pick in. We waiting for Goodell to come up. But yeah,
Traylon Burks didn't hit last year, y'all. Just so we clear.
Traylon Burks is looking like a bust a little bit.
Exactly. So could they have went back to the well of receiver? You kind of got to ask that question.
Fuzz, let me ask you this. So on the TV, the Falcons picks are in, but they showed Michael Penix dressed up to the nines, and he has this big draft party, and I can only imagine he's throwing this draft party because his agent told him something. Fuzz, if Penix goes somewhere, we'll do it later. But Falcons about to do their pick right now. But I do think we should have a conversation about Penix at some point because we're talking about JJ McCarthy. We haven't really talked about Penix just yet. But we should touch on that in a little.
Penix should go round one. I mean, with these quarterback needy teams, but
I'll say this. I will say this, y'all. I feel like we about to start getting some of them situations in a second.
We'll see.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see in the next couple picks. Maybe this pick where we like, whoa.
Do you go D-line here, Fuzz, or do you go corner to go along with
I think AJ, this could possibly be the first defender, but
Jared Verse has been mocked to them a whole lot.
Dallas Turner, Sky.
Well, let's see.
And Dallas Turner, but the pick is in 8th overall pick in the NFL 2024 NFL draft. The Atlanta Falcons select. Penix Jr. Whoa!
Got our first one.
Whoa!
Hey, I was right on cue, Sky.
He was right on cue. We was. Hey, but whoa!
Okay, What's this on deck? Let's talk about it.
I'm glad I wouldn't look at the check because I bet y'all scored it.
Hey, hold on.
That's crazy.
Throw me the alley-oop, Scott. Throw me one, please.
Hey, man,
that's crazy.
They got Kirk Cousins there, Foots, but Michael Penix Jr. gets to the top 10, man. And what do you like about him?
So.
Well, he look like a goon, don't he? He just look like a goon. Just come on.
Hey, but you know what though, Sky? Kirk does have the injury history.
He old as hell. He's about 40 years old.
You did pay him a bunch of money. This is a true. Their roster is sneaky. This is yeah. This is a true.
Yeah, I like it for him.
Who do we? This is a true Jordan Love situation. Let him sit for a year or two.
Shit, this might be. Hey, dog.
He might be playing by December. No, we don't know.
This is great. This is good.
Let me get the eval out real quick.
Okay.
Because I really there isn't a better thrower of the football, passer of the football in this draft than Michael Penix.
Sure.
Windows. You said it, Vach. You like him.
Yeah.
Windows. I'm talking about Sky. 1, 2, 3, ball out. 1, 2, 3, ball out. That lefty Lucy is beautiful, Sky. Now he did have the big three: McMillan, Polk, Odunze. But I think that there's more to that than just those guys. I think he's a really good player. Now he did transfer in, and obviously he does have the injury history. But this guy can flat out throw the football. I love him not having to play early on. His footwork is incredible. The only thing that scares me about him is that
he gonna be 29 by time. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he didn't. He didn't create enough. He didn't create enough off schedule for me. That's the only thing.
I don't think he needs to though. Foots. I mean,
accuracy is real, right?
he was so constantly on schedule, like he didn't have to make a whole bunch of plays off schedule. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and in my mind, if he plays so well with good wide receivers, just give him good wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing about Kirk Cousins is coming off injury, so this is like double insurance, and we know that Kirk contract isn't going to be forever. So now you're grooming the next guy so he can come up with Drake London and Kyle Pitts if he's there still, and Bijan Robinson. And if the Falcons do end up being like this run first team that's like quarterback friendly, that's even better for Michael Penix. Hey man, this was I just knew they were gonna go defense or something. Yeah. You got plenty time to go defense. Get you a quarterback. And Foots, this is a good thing about following our gut. This whole time we thought this JJ McCarthy stuff.
I was just about to say
it was nonsense, and we all felt like that Michael Penix was the better quarterback than JJ McCarthy. And one thing I love about
that, now we can agree. Shout out to that.
One thing I love about
he's not a top 10 guy, man.
One more thing I love about Penix, Foots. One more thing I love about Penix. There were many games of him going through the, Pac-12 gauntlet, and the Pac-12 was good this year, right? There were many games where it was close at the end. It was coming down to the last play at the end, the last drive at the end. And every time I watched every game live because they used to come on at midnight, but every single game, it would be on Penix's shoulders at the end of the game to make a drive and make something happen. And he's finding guys. He's finding Rome. He's finding Jalen McMillan. He's finding Jalen Pope. And he would always make clutch touchdowns. Even when he would go one-on-one with Bo Nix and the Ducks, all the pressure of this Washington football team going into a playoff scenario, he just showed up whooping people.
Hey, and then he looked pretty bad against Michigan, though. But you can't hold one game against
Michigan is an NFL ass defense. If there's a team to look bad against, that's the one. He didn't look bad versus Texas, though. Hey, this is a sneaky smart pick, a sneaky long-term pick for the Falcons. I love it. I love this pick for them.
Hey, Boss, you kind of excited, man. I that's cool.
This is my quarterback 3, bro. He's my quarterback 3.
Hey, Atlanta telling you that you're not wrong, sir. I gotta shut up.
You better than Drake, man.
Here we go.
The Bears are back.
The Bears are back on the clock.
I think this might be.
And with the 9th overall pick, they do go wide receiver.
Washington back.
Odunze. Didn't we talk about this?
Hey,
we talked about this at the beginning of the
heat, Sky.
I'm just saying, brother. Like this just makes sense for a quarterback, a young quarterback, I should say, to have as many weapons as possible, especially since they already went offensive line last year. But I love this for the Bears. Keep on putting these guys around your young quarterback. But Rome Odunze, wide receiver out of Washington, what you got?
If you coming into the league like this guy, with this amount of work, hey Caleb, you're not gonna have many excuses, my boy. To have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Keenan. Now you put Rome Odunze on the other edge. Rome Odunze is a great player, Scott. I really, a lot of people have a Amari Cooper comp for him. I actually see more Jamar Chase, not quite as explosive, and not quite as good after the catch, but the body control. The thing with bigger athletes like them, you saw that with Quentin Johnson a lot this year in the league, Sky. He didn't have great body control. Rome Odunze is not that. Rome Odunze is also, you talk about Pac-10 play, Voch.
Yeah.
He a sneaky, gritty dude. Like Oregon game, took over the game. Like y'all want that smoke? Y'all gonna talk to me on the sideline? I'm gonna talk back. You want to be chippy? I'm gonna be chippy. He not one of them receivers just running back to the line, Sky. I pay attention to all that. I mean, running back to the huddle. Yeah, I pay attention to all of that. And so when you get that type of guy with the 1,600 yards, come on, like. That's when you start to say, okay, he one of them. He reminds me, I'm telling you, he's more of that CD Jamar Chase than, Adonai Mitchell. So not as good after the catch. But, yeah.
We got movement here. The Vikings then say, all right, y'all taking all these damn quarterbacks, so we're going to get involved in this situation here, and they're moving
they got
up.
Nervous,
this feels.
Do you think the Vikings wanted Penix? Do you think the Vikings?
Yes.
I
think the league is higher, Voch.
When you jump when you jump right here, you're basically saying, "Damn, we didn't get our guy, so we have to get the last of the Mohicans." I think.
Like they moved, they wanted to move from 11 to 10, who did they think that the Jets was going to get?
Who wanted to move 11 to 10?
The Vikings.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's a good point too when you think of it that way, because they only went up one spot.
We lit though, y'all.
Yeah.
We lit.
I want to know.
We lit? Go ahead.
I want to know why. Because we got 2,600 people watching live on
We lit because of that, but we also lit because we said that JJ McCarthy wouldn't go high. We said we didn't feel that way about it, but also like Minnesota is kind of smart. This is turning out how we wanted it. Now so Denver's moving back. Am I hearing that correctly, Scott? Denver's moving back to the Vikings pick.
No, Jets
moved down one spot.
Jets
so
moved
Vox is on to something. Why one spot? So,
like, who did they think that the Jets? Because in my mind,
I got you, Vox. It's not who did the Jets want. It's who did the Jets say somebody's trying to come up and get. So the Jets get on the phone. You know, if we go into the war room, you know, for the Cowboys, let's pretend we got Will McClay on the phone here. The Jets get on the phone and they say, "Hey, we got so and so trying to come up and get JJ McCarthy, right? Yeah. But we're willing to come down one slot if you give us a 3 and a 4, whatever it may be, right? Because they're not willing to give us what we want at 13." Talking about the Raiders, so maybe that's what they said to him.
Can I ask y'all a question real quick?
Sure.
And I actually made a mistake, Sky.
What's that?
I was thinking of the Minnesota's 23rd pick. I thought they had packaged something to get up there, but I forgot they had this pick.
I want to know what they gave up.
They jumped right in front of Denver, but they didn't have to move. Yeah, they
didn't jump in front of Denver. No.
They went up one pick. They're going to get a key.
Jets was 10, Vikings were 11, but the Jets said the Vikings said, "Hey, I just need to move up one spot just to seal this up." So I wonder what they gave up just to move that one spot. Was it like a fourth, maybe a third round pick just to move up that one spot?
I see what you're saying, Bob.
Yeah.
What did they? What did the Jets? What were the Jets gonna? What was this about? Yeah.
What made them?
I can't even make sense about it.
For example, right, last year, Buffalo Bills felt like the Cowboys were going to take tight ends, so that feeling made them okay. Let me move up to go get Dalton Kincaid because they might take him. I wonder what is this for JJ McCarthy, and is that pick that they gave up worth the move up for JJ McCarthy?
Yeah, I'm looking at so if you look at the Vikings, they have 2 quarterback needy teams behind them. You got the Broncos and you got the Raiders. So the only thing I can think of is the Jets saying, "Look, all these offensive linemen are falling to us if they want one, right? And maybe they wanted Rome and Rome's gone, so they're like, look, we can wait for a receiver now. Which one of y'all wants this pick? All 3 of y'all need quarterbacks. Which one of y'all want it?" And I just think the Vikings probably gave up and they probably taxed them. They probably said something like, "Hey, Sean Payton said he's willing to give up, 4 and 5 and next year, whatever." And they maybe outbid the Broncos or the Raiders. That's my line of thinking here.
I got another one, guys.
Let me look this up. Go ahead.
Olu's still on the board. Talise Fuaga's still on the board. Troy Fatnew's still on the board. So there hasn't been quite a run on tackles yet. And before you get to this pick is in.
So the Vikings get real fast though. So the Vikings get pick 10 and pick 203.
A 6-round pick.
The Jets got 11, 129, and 157.
So the Jets got a 4th and a 5th. So my imagination is somebody else wasn't giving up a 4th and a 5th. Maybe just one.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's the question: are 2 quarterbacks coming off the board here and then at Denver? And if that's the case, that goes back to what
I'm laughing at.
Bo Nix has been mocked to Denver.
That's where we should be celebrating because that's pushing a lot of talent back. Remember we said, give me 6 in the first round.
I mean, Fuaga still. I mean, there's only been 2 offensive linemen taken if you're looking at offensive line so far.
So
no defenders too. No defenders.
No defenders.
All the edge defensive tackles. Everybody there.
Yeah.
And we're 14 spots away. So you just pick 14 names. You're gonna like one of them. One of them be there.
You know what's crazy, y'all?
I want somebody to get tight.
The Latham and the DN conversation start getting crazy that we've ran through a bunch. Because if you start doing a process of elimination, especially with these tackles that I'm sure will be coming off the board here shortly, it starts to be fun as we get closer.
Scott, you know why that makes sense to me though? Your whole theory that somebody back there was like bidding, because the Jets are probably going, okay, we're gonna take an offensive lineman here. We're all in on Rodgers. We got Tyron. We'll just draft another offensive tackle to keep Aaron upright because it's his Achilles or whatever, right? The Jets still just gonna do that. they just gonna take the dude that was on the board anyway. So the Vikings, in theory, they could have just hung out there, right? And just still got JJ McCarthy, but somebody wanted JJ McCarthy. And I wonder if JJ McCarthy going now is going to make somebody reach and force somebody to take Bo Nix just because their guy is gone or whatever. There's a lot of mess going on right now, but I like it though. I like good mess
too.
I think there might be another team that may want a quarterback too. Gotta wait and see.
Oh, we got a little more time, Scott, because they done brought up the yeah, okay, we got excellent connection back. We moving around. Let me see. Okay, hold on. We back, Scott. We back.
Yeah,
we back.
Something happened, bro.
We back. Yeah.
When